It's time.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
Here we go.
What it do, baby? What it do?
Are we ready?
Are we ready?
Are you guys okay?
Huh?
Are you guys okay?
I mean, after
After this,
ugh.
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 I mean,
ugh.
there was a little around, but there was a lot of with you guys.
Hey, my guy finished better than your guys's in the one and dones and outright. So, okay, so I win there. Black Stallions, you're gonna miss those cuts.
Yep.
Top 40, not good.
No,
not good. And our flayed, I'm glad he put that in red. That's an asterisk.
Yeah, that's fair.
Outside of that, yeah, I mean, I'm not too terribly upset, really.
Right.
It's just you missed in the wrong spots this week, personally. Ryan, did you?
I just missed everywhere.
You just missed.
Sometimes you miss in the wrong spots, sometimes
Just
you
miss.
miss.
It's okay. It's okay.
You just missed. Lost both side bets. That's going to be fun to deal with. That's really where most of.
At least
I'm pretty sure 4 of my shitty shots are on side bets,
Yeah,
which
maybe-
we just started like 3 weeks ago.
Just randomly
So if
doing
we take
that.
those out, my shitty shots are great.
Ryan and I know where your weaknesses lie.
Yeah.
We
I
can,
love
we
to have
can
fun.
get him on the gut feeling side.
Get him on the side bets.
I mean, let's jump in here. Like,
Let's jump in.
I mean, it's,
all right, let's.
there's no. It's a cold.
So do you want to
cool down
space
below.
out the shitty shots for yourself?
No, I'm just.
Let's do it.
It's just gonna be rapid fire for me this week. So, bit of a recap. You know what? Let's start with where our score was. We had it at 22.5.
Mm-hmm.
We knew this was a scoreable course, and they proved it. I mean, how
It was at 12 after 18.
Well, it's like
What the?
ending score is 1, but also the volume of very low scores tells you a whole nother
Absolutely.
thing.
So we said 22 was kind of our number-esque right there. 8 guys finished 22 under or better.
Correct.
The
whole time you had to shoot 21 under to finish in the top 10.
I don't
it's
like
insane.
those courses. I don't like that.
No, and I don't
At
like
all.
based on the Max Homa tweet that I sent
Which
you guys.
one's awesome?
Real quick to recap that the Suns lost to the Mavs in Game 7 of the NBA Western Conference semifinals, and Max Homa tweeted, "Get the Suns a tee time at the TPC Craig Ranch because basically that'll make them feel better because they'll score well there." So, yeah, just a shot at TPC Craig Ranch, maybe a little bit of a shot at the tour. I don't really know.
But
just as far as
definitely
course
a shot at
decision.
the Suns,
But
by the way.
Well,
They
I
were
mean,
down 40 in Game 7.
well, they lost though. Like that's I mean, a shot at them,
true.
but a deserved one.
But
whereas like the course, I mean,
How do you go down 40 in a Game 7?
I mean, both the
40.
Game sevens on
blowouts.
Sundays were blowouts. So like,
But anyways, okay, that's NBA.
non-competitive and
let's not talk about
non-conversational.
that. But yes, a little
yeah,
shot
it was
there.
just funny that a guy on the tour is just taking shots at how easy a course is that's playing 7,500 yards.
Right.
So distance not an issue with these guys, but if you don't have the hazards or the weather in play, these guys
They
are
do
going to
this.
tear up a course that
I mean,
fairways
how
are
many
2 football
rounds
wide.
were at least 10 under? I can count 4 or 5.
It was a tournament had the second most eagles of any tournament all time in PGA Tour history.
Did you say all time?
All
like
time.
as in ever?
Ever.
Oh.
So eagles were there, birdies were there.
Any hole in ones?
like we see these crazy.
Two?
I think there were.
We see these numbers, like, you know, those 26 under and stuff like that. We see them randomly, maybe by a guy that wins by 6 strokes or something like that. But we don't see 12 guys shoot 20 under or better.
Right.
And it's
not good.
You just don't see that. I mean, top 40 this week. So if we can jump as to that next after. So over under, sorry. Stoy and I both took the under at 22.5. It clearly went over at 26. Cole hit that one.
Yep.
But
confidently I hit that one.
Yeah. It teetered a little bit Sunday, a little slower,
right.
like it should
right.
be. but there was no. It was.
Yeah.
It was not in question.
But for example, like a top 40 here, you had to shoot 15 under. That is insane. I'm just going to take
the round ones.
Just take a handful. He's just going to take a handful because they're all coming.
So. Damn it. I wanted the.
Oh, it's sticky.
How many I got? 1, 2. I got 3, 2.
Nice.
Kinky green.
We always like to add a
Wow.
little color.
Okay.
And a
Little pop.
Truly. I didn't even know.
Which one did you get?
pineapple mango.
Yeah.
Same as you, bud.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I was like,
I
that
wanted
color
the
looks
coffee
familiar.
one, but smell your hands now. It's the coffee when it's spilled. It smells
Yeah, it
delicious.
is. It is.
Don't mind these guys sniffing their hands while we.
What is it? Real spice? Is
honestly,
this pumpkin
that's the
spice?
best part about these. It's basically a scratch and sniff when you get into the bag.
Right.
Spice. That's gonna be great.
Back to top 40.
Back to top 40, though. I mean, this is where the second shitty shot will come into play. Cole took Trey Mullinax, who
Was plus 360 to make the top 40.
and he finished T32. Shot, if I remember correct, 17 or
Yeah.
17 under.
And didn't even have a great Sunday to where.
Sorry, 16 under.
Put himself in peril on Sunday of not making the top 40 and really shouldn't have. But
How do you miss the cut? Here,
I'll ask
Higgs and Buckley, and Wolf and Kim and Burns and Willie.
Like, there's a lot of big names that missed the cut.
By the way, those are all the ones that we chose at
some
somewhere.
guys that we picked.
So we talk about this. We talk about this week in and week out when it comes to a big tournament the next week.
Right.
At a scoreable course like this, does that make this a little bit more prevalent? I don't think so. I think the way that this was so scoreable that it's just like
No, it doesn't do anything.
you just play golf.
Right. Like, I mean, honestly, if you played bad, I would feel like you're like,
Oh,
whoa.
I really
But a
need
lot
help.
of
I need
these
to
guys,
reevaluate.
I mean,
Yeah.
these guys are so good at golf. When you get on a course where these fairways are so big and there's really a lack of, like, you don't really have to have much imagination as far as tee shots and like, so the focus, I think, for some of the best,
Yeah.
That being said, the guys at the top were most of the best because like that's where like a guy like Spieth or Thomas, where you start to think like, oh, maybe they'll get a little lack of focus because the course is too easy. Well, they still scored well. Schauffele still shot 61 on
True, but
Sunday.
the top of the top usually doesn't lose focus.
Right,
Like they're
they
not
weren't
the
as
ones
good
to
the
do
first
it.
2 days though, and so like, what's the
Well, it's kind of what we talked about though. We said if they're around on the weekend,
they're going to score.
They'll score and it'll be fine.
That's true.
I just think that these guys. Roger and I were out this week at Otter, and it's like the front side of Otter is more open generally. So if you're not as focused, you're fine. But we end up scoring better on the back
You're locked in.
because you have to lock yourself in, and I think that's the same thing here. And then they just they could never get out of whatever they were doing,
Right.
which we'll never know. But
Everybody in the field this week is going, well, either I took advantage or, I should have shot way better because that course was super easy. Nobody was like, oh, man, I feel like I'm at a disadvantage because this course is so difficult.
absolutely,
The people that would be complaining would be the people that are the more, I would say, the higher tier guys that are being like, I mean, what are we going to do? Just let all the Corn Ferry guys out here? Anybody can score on this course.
Absolutely.
So
That's a Rom like mindset right there.
Patton,
Were we having a
those types
putting
of guys.
contest? Like, what is this? And who is it? I think it was Ben Hogan that at one point said putting and golf are two different sports or something like that.
1,000%. That's a great line.
I put my ass off on Sunday. I'm not gonna lie, but anyways,
So
Big putts, score good.
I shot a 40 on playing for the
let's-
tips at Otter.
There you go.
Finally got my driver.
let's just
figured
go
out.
through all of the
Jesus.
ones where we have a shitty shot, and then we can just all.
Perfect.
So
I do have one then, huh?
yes, so Cole took Trey Mullinax T32. I took Hayden Buckley. He missed the cut. Stoy took Harry Higgs. He missed the cut. So everybody has at least one.
Of course.
Vanilla. Next, we'll jump to our outright winners, where we all really hammered it home this week. And
Where? What are you talking about?
outright winners, where we all really hammered it home.
We outright lost.
Every one of us.
Who?
Every one
finished
of us
the
missed
best?
cut.
I feel like
Willie Z.
Did he?
Sam Burns might have been 1 under.
I mean, they
just
missed
one
the
back
cut.
too.
So.
Yeah.
But yeah, they all missed the cut. Like Hadwin, I think only shot like 2 under.
Yeah.
He was low.
I feel like they could have played the course left-handed and shot 2 under.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was so. As far as shitty shots this week, I have 3. Stoy has 3. Cole has 1.
I'll do the first one with you, boys.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
What's that? A little vanilla?
Sure did.
Just here so I don't get fined.
Little apple pie.
Little JB vanilla.
Was it good?
Yeah.
Good finish.
Actually,
Nice smooth
having
finish.
like if you easy mix, starting out maybe whiskey. I wouldn't say starting out whiskeys, but yeah, starting out whiskeys. Easy mix with this is that Coke vanilla and Jim Beam vanilla. Very good mix.
I can see that.
Very well.
Very good mix.
I want to say this for next season. I feel like if you miss a cut, it's a shitty shot. Unless it's a black stallion.
Yeah.
Or in a fade. Duh, clearly. We should be good enough not to miss cuts, right?
We should be a lot of things. They should be good enough not to miss cuts.
I know, but we have to start with us. It's called ownership. If we own it, then maybe they'll own it. If not, we can at least talk
Last I
shit.
checked, we couldn't play for them.
Good.
I didn't swing a golf club for Willie Z this weekend.
Should have.
I mean, I wasn't shooting 4 under in 2 days at Craig's Ranch.
Why not?
I might have shot 4 over. On
I
the
don't
first
know.
9, but
What if it's like Toad?
You don't
Valley?
know.
What if it's like Toad? You
I
shot
4 over in the first 9 holes at TPC Craig Ranch. That's 7,500 yards. That's not easy. We don't have very many courses around here that are 7,500 yards, boys.
We don't.
Like
It'd be fun to play.
Otter Creek from the tips is not even 7,000, by the way.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, golf trip this week. We set our tee boxes for the 4 courses, and we're playing about 6,500 average. There's very few courses that are even 6,500 from the tips that are local munis.
Isn't that crazy?
So, and those are 2 of the 4 courses. Those are their middle tee box, and 2 of them, it's their 4th out of 5th tee boxes. So we're not even.
What's the longest course we have around here?
I mean, Spirit Hollow, which is one of the ones we're playing, is 74.44 from the tips.
How about around Des Moines?
Around Des Moines? Yeah. I mean, any of your country, like Des Moines Golf and Country.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
even them, I don't even think Glen Oaks or Des Moines Golf are.
I think they have it. You can't. I think they can make it for
Legacy's just right
Legacy?
at 70 or 7,000.
I'd love me some
7,100.
Legacy.
But I've played the tips at Legacy. It's not.
It's not. Well, it's
I mean, we're all.
What's the
long
private
enough
course
that
in Echo Valley? What's that?
Yeah, I mean, it's not an overly long course. It's more of a shot making course. That's the thing is like
It's fun. I
as
like that
you-
course.
same thing we see on tour though is as you lengthen a course, you have to lengthen it to make golf shots come into play.
Right.
And so if you're not lengthening it to make golf shots come into play or to make the rough or a hazard come into play, you're not doing any, like you're not helping
Well, and I think
anything except for a number.
I think we mentioned that earlier this year too with, you can move the pin to different locations on the green. The course will relatively play very, very similar up until the green, right? Well, we talked about, okay, maybe the next day they go from the tips and then they go from the whites and then they go from here and then they go and just vary distances each day. That's where I feel like you bring a lot of tough golf shots.
You have to change your eyes. So changing a tee box from, so like instead of doing this
side to side,
and that's hard to do on a golf course. Like just from a perspective of like you don't have that much
But a lot of
room.
times when you see those tee boxes, you got, your tips here, your whites here, your reds here, whatever it is, and they're just kind of bounce back and forth. Again, change the eyes, change the true distance and say, okay, now I can't pull the driver out on this. Now I have to pull a long iron, whatever it is. But all right, Stoy shitty shot number 2, top 40. Kudos to you, Trey Mullinax.
Mullinax, big hitter, big money.
those juice.
Yeah, you drink it truly.
It's 30%, 60 proof. Just saying.
That's fine.
I feel like that's an adult.
Everybody had a chance to pull it.
You said an
They can't
adult
really
Capri
say-
Sun.
This is only 35.
You can get a straw for it next
Yes,
time.
it's an adult Capri Sun.
All right, where are we going next?
Well, we're going right back to the over-under 22.5, unless we put put a recap in there before we take this last shot.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, have we finished our full breakdown of everything?
No, we literally went to the shitty shot segments. Was
okay.
it?
So,
I really don't give a shit.
So we'll go up to one and done.
This term
Stoy
sucked.
with the best pick out of us all. T25 out of Neiman there.
By the way, what was he?
Just a crap
he was,
Sunday
He was
to
two off the lead going on Sunday, and then just didn't do. Actually, he didn't move.
His front nine on Sunday, he imploded and then kind of recovered to
yes.
have like an very average day.
Talk about a guy that's playing very, very well in all categories.
Right.
That's a guy that's playing really well in all categories.
Thought he would score. He started to, and then died on Sunday. It's fine.
Cole made the switch from Willie Z to Mav McNeely here, and it paid off with a T32.
Yeah, Mav played well. Had another average Sunday. I mean, he shot 2 under on Sunday and 1 under maybe even.
And you couldn't do that.
Guys were going. You had to be low 60s.
Yeah.
I mean, but the reason I went with Mav was the same reason some of those guys that shot up the leaderboard. He's a guy that can go very low. Didn't, but played solid all weekend. So ended up being a good choice for me.
That's kind of what I was hoping, but it went the other way. I took Taylor Gooch, and I missed the cut there.
Right.
Is this a record? Like you have 4 missed cuts.
Yeah, and
that a
top
record?
5 in my fade.
Is that a record?
Yeah, well, that's why I was saying on Sunday, this could be the absolute worst you could do, because at one point, Xander had a chance to make a playoff.
Like a very good potential.
What happens if he would have won?
Playoff. So
I would have got negative 5 points.
Would you just went like, you know what, I'm done.
No, Ryan
I'll
would
be
have
here.
been out of
I'm
golf
drinking.
podcast.
Yes, he's done on the golf side. He's just here to click stuff because he got the worst possible. That would have been the worst possible score.
So thankfully for Ryan,
he squeaked by.
KH Lee got hot, and a couple other guys,
Matsuyama, Speed.
flew by him.
Yeah.
But good news is that this is the record now. A T5 with all missed cups.
Now we
set
have
the bar.
Set the bar.
It's
shitty
it's
shot
good
bar
luck.
has
It's
been
way
set.
down there.
Good luck.
Good luck.
I mean, he literally
That is it. That is
could not
that
have
is
done
the
worse. And side bets, because he lost the side bets.
and
as
he
well.
lost both side bets.
Yes, so you have to. That must be notated.
Yeah, I mean, that's perfectly fine.
No, it's gonna be on record.
I'm gonna
5/16/22.
Yep. I'll somebody notarize this happened.
Right.
Yeah, that was bad. So I missed the cut with Gooch. We'll jump down to Black Stallion here. Cole was the only one to make the cut with Vegas here. So plus 5,000. Siwoo missed the cut. Matt Wolf, I went with him because he played decent the week before and missed the cut. He just did Matt Wolf's things.
Yeah. He went back to his old
He's
self.
played one tournament.
He must have tried too
in
hard.
like 4 years.
No kidding.
Weekend.
And then down to player to fade here. We kind of hinted at it. Xander finished T5, one better than his actual starting position. I don't know the starting positions for the other guys off the top of my head because both these two took Brooks.
They're all
They're
within
about
the
5,
top.
6,
They
7,
were all
8.
within the top 10.
Right.
Yeah,
And
right.
so Brooks withdrew, who was both of these guys' player to fade.
Mm-hmm.
Technically the best fade you could have, except for he didn't start the tournament.
didn't even
It
tee
wasn't
up,
like a Paul Casey where he played a couple holes and then withdrew.
Right.
Then it would have counted and you guys would have been
Correct.
Golden.
money.
So then we just
Spieth though finished T2.
so glad he didn't win that thing.
Had a really good week, and then DJ T59, a good fade there. DJ hasn't played overly great, but hasn't played
solid,
overly bad.
but not great. Hasn't been able to get
Just-
over the
He just looked
meh.
meh.
Yeah.
He looked like he was working on things. Like he just didn't look. Spieth looked crisp.
Yeah.
DJ just looked like, I'm trying to figure this thing out.
Right.
Kind of like Tiger used to do on these tournaments. Like you're just like, what? But he won them.
Did anybody see though?
the difference.
I think we need to. If I can find that graphic, maybe I'll pull it up here. Did anybody see Byron Nelson's year that he had the 1 year?
Mm-hmm.
It was insane.
Yeah, then they showed the graphic on Sunday, and it was just a whole bunch of top threes even. It wasn't even like top 5 or top 10. It was like 20 events, 8 wins, 6 top 2s.
Yep. So
Are you pulling it up?
this year we celebrate the 75th anniversary. I'm just going to read this one off because it's not a very good graphic. It's just kind of
Oh,
terrible.
it's a Cowboys graphic.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
In 1945, he finished with 18 victories, including 11 straight, and established a record for the lowest scoring of 68-33, untouched for 55 years until none other than Tiger broke it. Played in 30 tournaments, never finishing outside the top 10. 9th was his
worst.
Second, 7 times.
We call that a heater?
Well, and he's also 45, so level of competition must be considered.
Yeah.
But
because
the guy was
half the world was dead
or not allowed to play.
Or serving. Yes, correct. True. This is true.
That definitely has
we
to
have
be,
to throw that out there. If you don't know, there was this thing called World War II happening.
Right.
Hadn't been over yet.
Yeah. So between some type of discrimination, a war, then there was a lot of guys not available. However,
he still did it.
He still got it done.
Still
and he never finished worse than 10th, which a lot of guys did finish worse than 10th.
Could you imagine doing that right now, this year?
It's just
it's not possible. But if someone did that, you know how much money they'd win?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, Scheffler this year is closer than you'd I mean, he's not at that level, but for the competition that he's playing,
we'll see what he does at the major. Okay.
Yeah. Well, who was it that came out? Was it Willie Z? Was it Willie Z that came out and said something about this year is looking Tiger-esque?
Well,
a lot of people have actually,
which is I mean, and that's a fair assessment. Look at what he's done.
Closest,
and Scheffler's just one of those guys that he's not a guy you're going to put on a video and send to people and say, this is how you golf. And so I think
the allure, the
allure of the creative mind, the self-taught golfer,
the everyday guy. Yeah, they did it with Bubba too. They did the same thing with Bubba at that point too. All right.
But just to another level of whatever mystique Bubba ever got to, for the same reasons, because he's the right-handed version.
Yeah, right.
Of that,
but he's only won 1 green jacket, not 2.
Right. A left-handed version is way more exciting, just like it is in just about every sport at every position. So,
not quarterback.
Yeah, but I love watching an alluring left-handed quarterback. Just because, it's like a unicorn.
It is, but they don't end up well.
No, but I mean...
What was the last good lefty?
I mean, you got Mike Vick, you got Steve Young, you got Mark Brunell. I mean, you don't have a lot of them. Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
When,
it's a unicorn.
3 that I just named...
Yeah.
Is Tua a lefty?
Let's not put
I'm just saying
quarterback.
Let's not put him that.
I'm just saying, I'm trying to think of
I could also
lefty
say Chris
quarterbacks.
Sims, but,
right, but I didn't.
I
was just trying to think of lefty quarterbacks.
You're right. You were correct.
College Tua.
He plays the position of quarterback,
Tua.
And he is a lefty.
Right.
College Tua.
But he is not in those 3.
No, but
yes,
I mean,
correct. Yeah.
Just
College
generally speaking, guys with success that have been left-handed.
Yeah,
I don't know, but if I missed anybody? Esiason was left-handed. I think Esiason was left-handed.
I have no idea, guys. I don't know. But anyways, we're done with this tournament, right? So we can finish this, and we can go on to the PGA.
Yeah. I'd like to put this tournament behind me. Thank you, everybody, for your participation.
Yeah, thank you. Fade, slice.
Ooh. That's a green apple. It is tart. That's not because of the alcohol. I want everyone to know that. It's pucker. There's a pucker. Was it Warhead? Did I see a Warhead?
The pineapple mango. I would like that over the wild berry, in case you guys were wondering.
That's fair. All right.
All right. PGA.
TPC Craig Ranch. Adios.
Don't ever come back.
Probably not back on the tour again ever.
That's awful.
But jump into the PGA.
It's time.